Over the past 1.5, 3, or however many years it's taken you, you've overcome many varied and probably sometimes fairly comprehensible hurdles that we place in your path. Not only that, but you've overcome challenges by balancing your studies, your private lives, and in many cases your working lives as well. Of course, as business students, you can simply justify this choice in terms of cost and benefit, but that's not the whole story, and you know that. Cost and benefit would ignore the many and significant but subtle changes that take place. If you take a moment to think back to that slightly younger, slightly fresher person who walked in on the very first day, maybe boldly, maybe a little nervously, as you entered your first lecture, you'll probably notice that that person has changed a little bit, that the person sitting here has learned a great deal in your time here. We hope you learned some of the things we hope to teach, but you certainly learned a great deal along the way. You've grown in knowledge, and experience, and character, and in confidence. To learn is to change, and a degree program is a time when people have the opportunity to change a great deal. Last week I reached out to some of our former students, to some of our alumni, and asked them to contribute some ideas to the speech. They've experienced graduation much more recently than I have, I must say, and are perhaps closer to your current situation. One of the very first answers I got was a student who graduated just a couple of years ago. Her name was Tanya. She graduated from International Management Bachelor, and she just said, "Why don't you just learn alumni speak? Why are you getting up there and speaking anyway?" And I think it was a great answer. It shows that there is a degree of confidence in our graduates these days. There were lots of other responses as well, and we can kind of group them into 3 or 4 messages. Number 1, be proud. One student wrote, "I would have liked to hear how proud I should be to have accomplished this achievement. But don't allow them to keep the illusion that from now on you're done with learning. I can't stress this point enough. No matter how practical your studies might have been, you really need to continue learning for the rest of your career." Another student, "First of all, be proud of the achievement and enjoy the moment. This is a major milestone successfully completed. And don't forget to keep in touch with your fellow students." One student who graduated here and then the University of Hamburg and then Fudan University, see I promised not to mention China, but he got in somehow. He ended up working for Mont Blanc in Beijing, for Wellendorf, and today's a lecturer at Lucerne University of Applied Sciences, wrote, "More than ever, graduation is the first step towards lifelong learning. On the job, online, back in university. So don't rest and stay curious." Another man wrote something in German. I tried to translate it, and it's much nicer in German, but my accent is so terrible I'm going to stay with the English. He said that when he graduated from high school, his teacher said to him, "Out there's a world waiting for you that hasn't been waiting for you. Be aware of this and find your future." Do you have a future? Yes. And as long as you exist, you have a future that you can influence significantly. So influence it. Sylvia Vespi, who graduated long ago, has been in the States doing all kinds of things since then, has just come back to Switzerland, said, "Get out into the world and explore, keep moving, stay curious, have a flexible mindset, and cherish this community of students who studied together here at Fachhochschule Nordwestschweiz." One woman who today runs her own company just on next door to the Paul Scherrer Institute, but before that worked for Alstom, the Federal Roads Authority, the Paul Scherrer Institute, and now, as I said, is the managing director and co-founder. So take risks, search for challenges, try and find a profession you're passionate about. And I can say from my own experience, I've tried doing things that I thought were probably the better idea because I'd earn a bit more money or do that, and I was never successful. It was only when you actually care about what you're doing, when you enjoy it, and when you can be passionate about it, that you can really deliver your best. The second group of students, be confident. Don't undersell yourself. Emphasize your unique experiences at the FHNW. Your time studying abroad, your language skills, your contributions to student projects, your hands-on experience with corporate clients through project work and thesis. Be bold. Apply for jobs you like, even if you don't fulfill all the criteria in the job ad. Write a strong motivation letter, highlighting why you're the right candidate. And over again, don't lose touch with your former classmates. Keep in touch with your alumni. Students from the MSc IM did it. Cornelia Moores I mentioned already. Enjoy the moment, stay in touch with each other. Use your network, talk to your professors, the FHNW alumni, again and again. Don't lose touch. And please don't lose touch with us. It was our pleasure to have you here, mostly. And we look forward to staying in contact with you. Our alumni is a resource that we try and use as well. We'll ask you questions, we'll sometimes try and get access to your experiences. You know, we're not necessarily all 23, 24, 25, 30 years old anymore. Sometimes we like to see a different perspective. 2 further contributions, but these weren't the normal stuff. They were slightly different. And they're more about how you might want to behave in the world. A student who graduated just a couple of years ago, she works for UBS now, her name is Rinsin. Be open-minded. Be open to all opinions, but also bring your own opinions and your inputs. You may only be at the beginning of your career, but you have something to say. Don't underestimate the value of your own experience. And finally, somebody who's not an alumni, he's actually sitting here, so I won't mention his name at all, because I don't want to embarrass him until we get to the upper. He said, in the past 3 years, we've learned how things should be done. Questions about equality and due diligence, fairness, or standing one's ground. And we've learned about some of the negative impacts of our current system. I would urge my colleagues not to forget about this as soon as they enter a corporation. Don't get intimidated. Try to change things where something's wrong, and never sacrifice their values. Some of you traveled very far to reach us here and become a student. Some of you have traveled very far while you're being students here, both geographically and psychologically. You've had the chance to take semesters abroad, participate in international student projects around the globe, work from students from dozens of different countries, and be exposed to new international experiences. We also hope you travel far on your personal journey in the future, in your careers, your private lives, and you travel far in terms of learning and discovery. But I'd also like to take a moment to speak about something which I think is quite important these days. This school has been international in its outlook from the beginning. Internationalization is part of our DNA. You may have noticed I'm not actually speaking German, French, or Italian on the stage right now. We started offering degrees in English for a number of reasons, but one of which was to give you students the opportunity to mix with people from around the world and learn from them during your studies. We ensure that our students are exposed to a wide range of cultures and practices to prepare them for your future work or study in international or multicultural environments. And today it seems the world is facing a particularly challenging moment. Thank you for the agreement. A moment where openness and tolerance are being challenged by an increasingly aggressive and closed-minded nationalism. At times like this, it is important that we do not lose faith in our principles or become fearful about demonstrating our commitment to a constructive, international and global engagement. This is especially the case for a small country like Switzerland, which doesn't have the option of closing its borders and turning its back on the world. Economically, intellectually, academically and culturally, Switzerland benefits hugely from its commitment to international engagement. I very much hope that the openness, tolerance and the commitment to constructive engagement remain with you throughout the rest of your career and lives. Now I'm getting very close to the end. One final comment. This came from a student who today can't be here because she's helping the Chargé d'Affaires of the US Embassy do something somewhere in Switzerland. And she said, you know what, give yourselves a break. Don't stress out about having the job lined up right after graduation. Maybe go traveling. Get inspired. Take your time. And apply for something that really interests you. You can always get a temporary job to earn some money meanwhile. Some of you have your futures mapped out. For some of you it will be slightly more vague, but you're young, you're full of promise, and you have a whole lot in front of you. So please stay in touch, be happy, be proud, because today you graduate. Thank you.
Administration, International Management, I would especially like to congratulate the graduates, the IM graduates. And as you've heard many times already today, today is your day. You will shortly receive your diploma, and you will join our 800 plus something alumni just here in Olten. And today you have a perfect reason to celebrate. You do deserve to be part of this very special occasion. You have invested over 5,400 hours in your studies. That's over 3 years of your time. That's the average. Some perhaps a bit more, some perhaps a bit less. And on average, you took over 54 different exams. And I'm not going to count numerous presentations, projects, assignments, and everything else you had to deliver. So be really proud of your achievements. But today is also the day which started actually 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, you perhaps weren't really sure if this investment in education will pay off. You can directly go to earn some money, or you can take 3 years of your time to invest into your future. And while many of you were well prepared for your studies, to learn, to explore, others were perhaps a bit more cautious to begin this journey. But I still hope that every single little encounter and experience gained within this program has been really enriching and will remain in your memories for a very long time. For example, writing your first academic paper in English. Trying to figure out what we mean by the APA standards and proper citations. Remember the presentation you had to make for a client during your life project? Going for the exchange seminar or exchange semester? Staying until early hours of the morning to learn for that really scary statistics exam? Taking part of our infamous Inside China, Focus India, Explore Asia, and other study trip programs, and of course, learning a foreign language other than English, whether it be Chinese, Spanish, or Korean. And I believe also there are many stories to be told which go outside the study halls and the classrooms. You had to learn how to overcome many personal challenges. You had to learn to celebrate your wins and learn how to deal with your failures. You made many new friends. And you made it all the way to the end because you worked really hard, well, most of you. You took good notes, or maybe copied the notes of others. Sometimes you even asked questions or sent emails. But part of your success also depends on the support you got from your families, friends, supervisors, professors, tutors, and of course our administration team. So please take a moment to thank them today. And of course every single end has its new beginning. So I'd like to finish my short speech with a very famous quote from Dr. Seuss' children's books. So congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You've got brains in your head, you've got feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Some of you might go to study directly to a master's program. You have an internship lined up, or maybe you already have a different job in some interesting continent. And while many of us before you chose our career paths for life, changes in technology, industry, and political environment, and also changes in your personal life, will lead you to perhaps choose not just one particular career, but change your careers throughout your life. So you have to be prepared. And you're not going to get very far in life based on what you already know. You're going to advance in life, but what you're going to do and how you're going to learn and what you're going to learn after you leave here today. So once more time, congratulations, graduates of the bachelor's degree in international management. And I'd like to ask now to proceed you to come to stage. So could I please ask the class 31 to enter the stage.
It is important not to neglect communication with customers and suppliers in addition to numeric models. To learn about such changes early on and not just rely on big data projections is key. I hope this was given to you also in your study program of Business Information Technology. Even if these so-called soft skills are often more difficult to measure than the correct application of a forecasting model. So therefore, I hope you will not only trust in numbers, but in your own feelings on your stomach when you take your decisions.
Today, 3 of them are dual degree achievers with Anglo-Ruskin University in Cambridge, United Kingdom. You have helped this program to move forward. We now have new international collaborations with countries like South Korea, Papua, Qatar, Australia, and Mexico. Part-time students shared with me their hurdles and challenges while trying to work on their professional careers. Rest assured, for the part-time students, you can be sure that we have revised the program and our part-time students can have the options to complete their degree sooner through different study modes, while balancing their professional careers and at the same time build on their family. To the families, relatives, friends and loved ones of our graduates today, you are here to witness their achievements as well as their semesters of endurance and perseverance to advance their individual's intelligence. They work very hard to forward their aims with diligence. To the graduates, continue to pursue your motivation with determination. Continue to learn while you earn. New knowledge is your privilege. Continue to leverage it to build on your courage and your professions. So enjoy the celebration in this graduation, and once again, many congratulations in achieving your academic determination.